In this video tutorial, we will demonstrate how to use the PowerPac function pgTBObjSet to manipulate all of the objects within a group with a single call to the function. In our example, we have created 4 checkbox buttons which we will group together and then name with a unique name. I will call the group Controls for the sake of this tutorial. When our toggle button, which I've drawn here, is clicked, we want to either check all of the buttons or uncheck all of the buttons each time our toggle is clicked. In order to do that, what I've decided is that I would use the caption of the button to determine whether we're checking or unchecking the buttons. If the caption includes the word check, then all the buttons will become checked. If the caption says uncheck somewhere, then it will uncheck all of the buttons. So let's see what sort of logic is required to accomplish this. We'll select our button and bring up our Actions Editor. First of all, what we need to do is to set up a if-then statement to determine what is the caption of the button at the time when it's clicked. So we'll say if caption of self contains check. Then what do we want to do? We want to check the buttons. So let's do that. Let's execute pgTBObjSet to check all the buttons. Here's our function. Now let's bring up the properties for our action. We target our controls group. The property that we want to manipulate is the checked property, and the value is we want to set each button to be checked or true. In this case, because we're manipulating the group, we have to tell it to treat each object within the group as a separate object. That's the purpose of the parameter called parseGroup. If we say true, then the PowerPac knows to take each object within the group and set the checked property to true. Now we have part of our logic in place, but once we click the button and toggle everything, we need to change the caption of our button. So we'll change the caption to toggle-uncheck. And then we'll create an else statement in our branch to handle the condition when the caption is toggle uncheck. For that, we'll just simply copy these actions because what happens next is very similar to these. So we'll copy these and we'll paste them into our other branch. And we'll just change the parameters. When the button reads unchecked, then we set all the buttons in the group to false, and we change the caption of our button back to toggle check. So you see how simple this is, but let's review what we've done. On click of our toggle, if the caption of the button reads anywhere within the caption the word check, then it will execute pgTBObjSet, parse all the buttons in the controls group, and set them to true or checked. Then the caption of the button we've clicked will be changed to read toggle-uncheck, so that the next time we click the button, it will bypass the first part of our if statement and run the else portion. When it gets to the else portion, it will again run pgTBObjSet, but this time it will set all of the checked property of all of our buttons to false, as we've shown here. Then the caption of the button will be reset to say toggle-check, so that each time this is clicked, it will alternate between the branches of the if-then statement, checking and unchecking the buttons with each click. Let's see how this works by exporting our project for the web. right? Now let's take a look at the results of our work. Currently the buttons are unchecked, so if we click our toggle, the buttons should check. Notice our caption has been changed to read toggle-uncheck. So if we click the button again, then all of these buttons should uncheck, which in fact they do. So we check them, uncheck them, check them, uncheck them, with a single call to pgTBObjSet. The advantage of this action is that no matter how many checkboxes we add to our group, they will all be manipulated by the same call to the function, because the PowerPac reads the group and determines how many buttons exist that need to be either checked on or checked off.